Clear? So now sigma surface charge density, we have taken a plane sheet, uniformly charged infinitely, expansion of it is infinitely area. Now we take point P, electrical intensity at point P is E. Now you take just normally and opposite to P, equidistance P dash. Now we take another point P dash, just the opposite side of plane sheet, such way PP dash is just perpendicular to the sheet. Now taking PP dash as axis of cylinder and its cross section area is A. At both ends we imagine a cylindrical surface. Clear? It is plane 1, it is plane 2 and it is surface 3. Surface 1, surface 1, surface 2 and it is surface 3. Okay. Now what will happen? Clear? Means in order to apply the Gauss's law, we have to imagine Gaussian surface, and for our convenience we take symmetric figure in order to calculate the total flux on the Gaussian surface. So we take PP dash axis of the cylinder and we imagine a cylinder. Definitely our point P at which we have taken electric field intensity will be at the surface number 2 of the Gaussian cylindrical surface. Now see here, electric field intensity at E. So now total by the flux, definition of flux, phi is phi 1 plus phi 2 plus phi 3. Phi 1, it is vector E. It is vector E and it is ds. Here it is plane number 1, so it is area A. So you can say phi 1 is vector E dot vector A. You can say minus E, but I am taking lines outward, flux positive. Outward through the surface, flux taken positive. It is outward. Means EA cos 0. Cos 0 is full. Phi 2 EA cos 0. But phi 3, yes, electric field thatward and surface direction at any point is radially outward, means at every point of that curved surface electric field and angle between the electric field and the normal to the surface is perpendicular, means 0. EA, double EA and EA, flux, total flux, double EA. You can say, sir, it is vector E, so it is minus E. You can see, sir, phi 1 is equal to minus vector E, vector A cos, what is it? Is E, that word. No, EA, clear. It is E, that word, it is A, that word, angle between them is cos 0. EA, complete, double EA. So total flux of phi is double EA. Now by Gauss's law, phi is equal to total enclosed charge. No, it is not in that area. The total amount of charges which is inside that boundary is the total charge inside the Gaussian surface. So how much? Q upon epsilon 0 and Q value, total charge inside that area per unit area sigma. So total area sigma A upon epsilon 0. Now it is equation number 1 and it is equation number 2. Equate them. Double EA, sigma A upon epsilon 0, cancel. E is equal to sigma upon double epsilon 0. See here, E does not, in the expression of it, there is no distance. No distance terms here. means electric field intensity does not depend upon the distance of point P. Point P near equal point P fair to it, the same amount of electric field. It means electric field intensity does not depend upon the distance between the plane sheet and point. Clear? And it is out uniform electric field. Now we have completed applications of Gauss's law. There is another spherical cell, but I have seen in the reduced course, 30% reduced course due to pandemic COVID-19, it is already deleted. Third, electric field intensity due to a spherical cell already deleted from our course. We will leave it. Now, in chapter electrostatics, you can discuss about potential and potential at point P due to point charges. Third, potential at axial position and equatorial position of a dipole. These are the three terms we are going to discuss. Potential, yes. Electric field intensity. If in a space electric field already there, means electric lines of electric force are there, electric field intensity may be different if there is no uniform electric field. As the position of any point electric field, any position of any point varies, electric field intensity varies. It depends upon the position of the any point. Potential. What do you mean by the potential? If we enters or if we bring a charged particle or a point charge inside electric field, what will happen? We have to work against the electric force exerted by the source charge or electric field, and we have to do work, yes, in shifting point charges from a point to other point. The total work done by us against the electric field increase the potential energy of that point charges. That potential energy delta U is equal to work done, yes, from A to B in shifting point charges, from the point A to point B. We have to do work against the electric force. That work is stored in the forms of potential energy of that point charges. Now, potential energy is that physical quantity which depends upon the electric field as well as upon the charge. But if we consider such physical quantity which depends upon the only source charge position but does not depend upon the testing charge, we have to introduce another physical quantity, that is the potential. Just force F is equal to Q0E, means the force depends upon the testing charge amount. but E is equal to F upon Q0. Electric field intensity does not depend upon the amount of testing charge. In the same way, potential V is equal to work done in bringing positive charge, unit positive charge. Clear? Potential at point P and electric field is nothing but the work done in bringing unit positive charge from infinity to that point. Clear? Potential difference, if you are bringing, or if you are, suppose it is electric field E, it is point B, it is point A, and you are shifting a charge Q0 from A to B. Already you have to do a work against the electric force. So what is happen? Q0. Electric force E. It is total force. Now, how much work done by you? Suppose it is dx or delta x. So total work done by you, delta W is equal to force displacement minus dx. Means the work done by us is positive. But in the terms of electric field, the work done by it is negative. Means we are increasing the energy of Q0 charge in shifting from point B to point A. It is total energy, total work done by us. But if you divide it, delta W divided by Q0, it will be potential. Potential difference between A to B is nothing but work done in bringing from B to A per unit positive charge. Clear? Potential at any point P is V, and it is the total work done W per unit coulomb, W by Q0. Clear? If W work required in bringing Q0 charges from infinity to that point, work done per unit coulomb is W by Q0, and that is known as the potential of the electric field. V is equal to W by Q0. Is 1 joule, 1 coulomb, 1 volt. Potential definition. Potential unit 1 volt. In bringing 1 coulomb of charges from the infinity to the point P at electric field, inside the electric field, total potential at point P can be said 1 volt. How much work required? 1 joule required from infinity to the point P. How much coulomb? 1 coulomb. In bringing 1 coulomb of charges from infinity to the point P means potential at point P will be 1 volt. Now, dimensional formula for potential. Work formula ML2 T minus 2 dimensional QAT ampere time I is Q by T. So Q is IT, I in ampere, T is time. So M L2 T minus 3 A minus 1. It is dimensional formula of the potential. Now, you second point, potential at point P due to a point charge. Means suppose at point O we are taking plus Q charges and we take a point P at r distance. Now we will calculate potential at P. Suppose it is R, the potential at P, it is indicated by VR. What is the potential definition? Work done in bringing a unit positive charge from infinity to the point P of electric field. So total, in order to calculate work, we take a sample. Along OP, we take a line element AB, which is at x distance, and it can be taken small line element dx from B to A. See here, electric field intensity at point B, A, B both are very close to each other, means electric field intensity at point A little bit more than the electric field intensity at point B, but A, B are very close to each other, means electric field intensity approximately equal, and that is electric field intensity at point B is equal to what? 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 q cross 1 x square. Because it is x plus delta x, it is x, but it can be taken just equal to x. So electric field intensity magnitude, it is E. Now total work done in bringing unit positive charge from B to A. How much work done? Total work done, W is equal to vector E, that word, displacement, that word. Our external force opposite to E, displacement, but we are not taking force. External force is just opposite to E, minus E dx. No problem. It is external force. It is vector E, it is minus 1 upon 4 pi delta W or dW. 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 q upon x square dx minus, it is dW. Now VR means potential at point P due to point charges. Total work done means integrate our simple work, little bit work done by us from in bringing or in shifting unit positive charge from point B to point A, just opposite direction of electric field. So it is amount integrated minus 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 from where, according to the definition of the potential, work done in bringing unit positive charge means the first point, initial point is at infinity and final point is at the position R, means from infinity to R, dW, q of constant 1 upon x square dx minus q 4 pi epsilon 0 infinity to R, x power minus 2 dx. Again, V at R is equal to minus q upon 4 pi epsilon 0 x power minus 2 plus 1 by formula x and dx, power increases by 1 and divided by n plus 1. So minus 2 plus 1 upon minus 2 plus 1 from infinity to R, minus q upon 4 pi epsilon 0 minus 1 by x, or you can cancel, minus minus cancel, infinity to R. Now 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 1 by R and minus 1 by infinity 0 to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 q by R. It is potential at point P due to point charges and depends upon the position of the point. As the R increases, potential decreases. As the R decreases and we go very close to Q, potential increases. Okay. Now, potential at axial and equatorial position, it is our last point for today. So, see, it is minus Q plus Q charge, an electric dipole. Its center is O. You can take a point P at axial position which is at R distance from its center. Now electric potential V at point P due to plus charge. See, due to plus Q charge, already it is plus Q minus Q separately taken as a point charges. Now for the whole or entire dipole we can sum due to plus q and due to minus q. So v due to plus q 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 q, what is? It is q upon, it is AB. So q upon BP, and BP is r minus a. Now v due to minus q 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 minus q upon r plus a. Now potential at axial position due to both the charges are due to dipole. So V is equal to V due to plus Q plus V due to minus Q. It is V at axial position. 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 Q common, 1 upon R minus A minus 1 upon R plus A. See there, R plus A minus R minus A upon R square minus A square Q upon 4 pi epsilon 0. R cancel, minus minus plus, Q dot double A is P 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 R square minus A square, it is V at axial. If R is much greater than A, then you can leave or you can write R square minus A square approximately R square means P upon 4 pi epsilon 0 R square, it is V at axial position. Then now V at equatorial position, simple. If you are bringing unit positive charge from infinity and you are taking your point or you are moving along the perpendicular bisector, what will happen? Unit positive charge equidistance from both the ends of the dipole means it will attract and it will be repel. Net force on unit positive charge will be 0. No net force on it means we have to do null work, 0 work means there is no work done by us in shifting from unit positive charge at equatorial position means there is 0. Total potential will be 0. You can calculate. AB dipole, it is point P which is at r distance, under root r square plus a square, AP distance, under root r square plus a square, V due to plus Q is 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 Q upon under root r square plus a square. Point charge, due to point charge, Q by R, it is Q cross 1 or Q divided by distance, not distance square. Distance only. V due to minus Q. Potential at P. V due to minus Q. 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 minus Q upon under root R square plus A square. Due to dipole, V at R equatorial position, what will happen? V due to plus Q plus V due to minus Q. Both are equal in amount, but there is negative sign. So you will get 0. Now, if you wish to take here we have taken two standard position, equatorial and axial position, but in your NCERT you can calculate equatorial and axial position. You can avoid, you can take your point at general. Suppose it is minus Q, suppose it is plus Q, and you take no equatorial position, no axial position, it is point P, which is at r distance. See, here we have taken our point P, not axial, not equatorial. It is angle theta between moment of electric dipole and it is position vector of point P. Okay. That distance will be more than the R. See, it is R1, that distance R1, that distance R2. Now, electric field at P due to plus Q charges. V due to plus Q. What will happen? 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 Q upon, what is it? R1. Now electric field at point P due to minus Q of the dipole. V due to minus Q, 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 minus Q upon R2. Now electric field due to both the point charges of dipole means V is equal to V due to plus Q, V due to minus Q is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 or Q upon 4 pi epsilon 0, 1 upon R1 minus 1 upon R2 minus. Now it is equation number 1. Now we will calculate R1 and R2 value, or we will write R1 and R2 in terms of R. So let we try. Do you know the cosine formula? In geometry, we see that suppose it is the A, B, C, it is side A, it is side B, it is side C. So do you know A square plus B square minus 2AB cos A square plus B square minus 2AB cos C is equal to C square. So C square is equal to A square plus B square minus 2AB cos C. Cos C is angle between A and B. So by using that cosine formula, we can write R1 in terms of R. We can write R2 in terms of by using that formula. So see here, I can write R1 square is equal to R square plus A square minus 2RA cos theta. I can take R square out. Clear? R1 square is equal to R square plus A square minus 2RA cos theta. R1 out. 1 plus A square by R square minus 2. R square already taken, so 2A by R cos theta. See, double A is dipole length, single is very less in comparing to R. So since R is much greater than, so A by R is negligible, less than 1. So A square by R square is very less, near equal to 0. So leaving, we take only first power, not A by R second power. 1 by 100 square tends to 0. 1 by 100 is considerable, but by 1 by 100 square is equal to 0, means you can leave it. So R square 1 minus 2A by R cos theta. It is R1 square. Similarly, R2 square. See there. R2 square is R square plus A square minus 2RA. It is theta. What will be? It is pi minus theta. 2AR या 2RA cos pi minus theta. Cos pi minus theta is minus cos theta. Minus and that minus plus 2RA cos theta. Now you can take R square out. 1 plus A square R square plus 2A by R cos theta. Yes, it is. It can be leave because it is very less value in comparing to those two values. So R square 1 plus twice A by R cos theta. Now you can calculate 1 by R square. Yes, it is R1 square. So only R square, yeah, R1 square is equal to R. Okay, I am leaving R1. So R1 minus 2A by R cos theta power half. Clear? So 1 by R1 equal to 1 by r, 1 minus 2a by r cos theta power minus r, because I have taken inverse. Okay, 1 by r1, 1 by, so it is downward, upward minus half. Yes, that power can be, yes, if his second terms is very less, by using the binomial theorem, as you expand it, power increases of second terms, but a by r is near equal to 0, so you can take only first term, so direct minus half can be multiplied by 2a by r. So 1 by r, 1 minus 2a by r, or minus half cos theta, minus minus plus, what happens? 1 by r, 1 plus a by r cos theta, it is 1 by r1. Similarly 1 by r2, 1 by r2 is equal to 1 by r, है ना? 1 by, I'm sorry, first r2 equal to r 1 plus 2a by r cos theta power half. So yes, 1 plus 2a by r cos theta power minus half, because I have taken not r2, 1 by r2, so 1 by and it is r. So that minus 1 upon r, 1 plus minus a by r cos theta, it is 1 by r2. Now it is equation number 3, it is equation number 4. You can write 1 by r1 and 1 by r2 equal to, see there, 1 by r is common in both terms, so I can take out 1 plus a by r cos theta, yes, minus 1 minus a by r cos theta, yes, minus 1 plus 1 minus 1 cancel, double a by r cos theta, it is value of 1 by r1 minus 1 by r2. Now you can shift in your first, v equal to q upon 4 pi epsilon 0, 1 by r1, 1 by r2 equal to, what is 2a cos theta upon r square. See there, q dot 2a is p cos theta, q dot 2 is p cos theta, 4 pi epsilon 0 divided by r square. It is our general equation for potential. You can take point P at anywhere in the electric field. Yes. Now you can apply the condition for the standard position. For axial, what is V value? V is equal to P cos theta upon r square 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0. So for axial position, yes, if you take point P, what will happen? Angle between vector P and vector R goes to 0. So for axial, theta is equal to 0. So V is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 P cos 0 upon R square, means 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 P upon R square. Already we got the same expression as we have calculated in previous question. Clear? Now for equatorial, means your point P goes to at broadside on position. So theta will be 90. So theta will be 90. What is vector? Theta is vector between the dipole axis or vector P and position vector R. So theta equal to 90, cos 90 0. So V is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 P cos 0 cos 90 0. 0 upon that goes to 0. So you can take general point, not axial, not equatorial, and you can apply for both. At axial, theta can be taken 0 degree, angle theta is angle between dipole axis vector P and position vector point P. In this way we have calculated to the potential in electric field. Potential, what do you mean by potential? Work done in bringing unit positive charge from infinity to that point of electric field is equal to potential of that point. Unit volt, if 1 joule work required in bringing unit 1 coulomb of charges from infinity means 1 volt potential at point P. Calculated dimensional formula. Now V at axial and potential at equatorial due to dipole. Point charges, yes. Potential due to point charges also calculated, and it is equal to V is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 Q by R. See here, due to point charges Q by R, but due to dipole V is equal to P upon R square. See here, in dipole there is due to point charges only one source charges there, so you can take Q by R. But due to dipole there are 2 point charges at dipole, R multiplied by R square. Point to note that. Remember, potential in potential terms due to dipole V is proportional to 1 upon R square, and due to point charges V proportional to 1 by R in terms, yes. And for the expression of electric field intensity due to point charges, E 1 upon R square and E